The moment a woman realizes she lost a man she can't replace doesn't happen in a dramatic fight or in some movie-like scene where she's crying in the rain. It comes quietly, almost invisibly, like a shadow slipping into the back of her mind. At first, she doesn't even recognize it. She thinks she's fine. She distracts herself with friends, with social media, with new conversations that keep her ego afloat. She posts pictures, she laughs in public, and she convinces herself she's thriving. But then, in a quiet moment, when the noise dies down, when she's alone with her own thoughts, that heaviness begins to press on her chest. Maybe she's scrolling through her phone late at night, or lying in bed staring at the ceiling, or sitting at a table while her friends are laughing about something meaningless. Out of nowhere, the memory of you appears. It's not just you, but the energy you carried, the presence you held, the calmness that settled a room when you walked in. She remembers the subtle things, the ones she didn't pay attention to when you were around, the way you didn't chase, the way you didn't crumble under her moods, the way you could make her feel secure without needing to smother her.
Oh.
Those thoughts come uninvited, and she tries to shake them off. She tells herself you weren't that special, that there are plenty of men like you, that someone else will come along. But as the hours and days pass, that quiet thought grows louder. Deep down, she knows she underestimated you. And that realization stings more than she ever expected. Because losing a man who stood out from the sea of ordinary wasn't just losing another relationship, it was losing the one thing she can't easily replace. Asterisk, it always begins with comparison. Because whether she admits it or not, she will compare every man who comes after you to the standard you unknowingly set. At first, she convinces herself she's moving on. A new man enters her life, and for a brief moment she feels the spark of novelty. His attention feels good, his charm distracts her, and she almost believes she's found someone who can fill the space you left. But that illusion never lasts long. The cracks show quickly. His confidence feels forced instead of natural. It's the way he texts feels needy or inconsistent, lacking the steady balance you gave without effort. His humor falls flat, or his attempts at impressing her feel exaggerated. He talks too much about himself, or not enough to hold her attention. Every detail becomes a reminder that something is missing. As soon as she feels it, she can't unsee it. This is where regret begins to deepen, because once a woman experiences a man who holds himself with real masculine presence, her taste changes forever. What she once thought was acceptable now feels inadequate. Where she used to overlook flaws, she now sees them as glaring weaknesses. The calmness she once criticized in you as being too detached now looks like composure and strength compared to other men's insecurity. The boundaries she thought were selfish now look like maturity compared to men who beg for her attention. Every new conversation, every new date, becomes a silent to stand. Most men fail before they even realize they're being measured against you. That's when it hits her that what she felt with you wasn't an accident or timing. It was the rare effect of who you are. And rarity, once lost, is nearly impossible to find again. Asterisk, regret doesn't hit her like a storm all at once. It sneaks in slowly, piece by piece, through little reminders and disappointments that stack up until they become unbearable. At first, she thinks she's fine. She's laughing with someone new. She's getting attention from men who flatter her, and for a moment it feels good. But then something subtle happens. She remembers how you didn't need to show off to hold her interest. She remembers how you never begged for her time or flooded her with empty words. The calm in your voice, the way you looked at her without needing to prove anything. The way you didn't collapse when she tested you, all of those details rise back up in her mind, and she realizes she can't find them in anyone else. The men around her are either too eager, too insecure, or too dull. And the contrast makes her memories of you hit harder. It's not just nostalgia, it's recognition. It's recognition that she once had something rare, something she may never experience again. This is when the dangerous mental loop begins. She starts whispering to herself, maybe I overreacted. Maybe I misjudged him. Maybe I ruined the best thing I ever had. That loop becomes background noise in her life. It plays when she's at a dinner table with someone new, when she's scrolling through her messages late at night, when she hears a song that takes her back to a moment with you. Suddenly, everything turns into a reminder, even scents in the air, a random phrase. Or the way another man tries to mimic confidence makes her think of you and the difference. These moments aren't harmless. They are emotional landmines, and each one reinforces the same painful truth. She lost you, and there's no getting that version of you back. Asterisk. This is the stage where her strategies begin, because by now the weight of losing you has grown too heavy to ignore. At first, it's subtle. She might like an old photo of yours, hoping you'll notice. She might send a harmless, "Hey, how have you been?" As if she just happened to think of you. But those aren't casual gestures. They're probes. Quiet attempts to see if the door is still open. If you don't respond, she escalates. Suddenly she remembers a question only you can answer, or she pretends she needs your advice on something trivial. That doesn't work. She might reach out under the pretense of closure, which is almost never about closure, but about reopening the line of connection. Each move is designed to test your reaction, to measure if you still care. And as she reaches, her tone starts to change. The confident woman who once acted unbothered now sounds uncertain. Her words carry a different weight. Her replies come quicker. Her compliments feel slightly forced. She may try to disguise it, but the cracks are there, an undertone of nervousness. That wasn't before. She's no longer the one writing the story. You are? This is the point where many men make a mistake. They confuse her vulnerability for victory and rush to reconnect. But that's how the power shifts back to her. The truth is, if you remain calm, patient, and unmoved, she sinks deeper into obsession. Your silence becomes louder than anything you could say. Scarcity makes you valuable, and indifference becomes the oxygen she craves. The longer you hold steady, the more she feels it. Every ignored message, every unanswered attempt, every calm refusal to bite only amplifies her desire. You're no longer just a man she once knew. You're the one man she can't reach. Asterisk. Eventually she reaches what can only be called the panic of acceptance. That breaking point where the reality of losing you finally sinks in. Up until now, she's told herself stories that she could always come back. You'd always be there, that one message would be enough to pull you back into her orbit. But now those illusions start collapsing. Time feels different for her. Every day you don't reply stretches endlessly. Every week feels like a month. And with each silent moment, the hope she clings to weakens. She starts rewriting the history of your relationship in her own mind. The arguments fade, the flaws blur, and what she remembers most are the moments when you stood tall in your frame. She tells herself she had something rare, something she'd let slip away, and that thought eats at her pride. The woman who once thought she held the upper hand now feels herself on the outside, looking in. She tries harder, posting things online to get your attention, showing up in places she knows. You'll be dropping hints through mutual friends. But none of it feels effortless anymore. It's work. And that frustrates her even more because she once assumed you'd always be available. What cuts her deepest isn't just that you're gone, it's that you're gone without anger, without begging, without looking back. Your calm detachment forces her to face something she never expected. You don't need her. And that truth rewrites her image of you forever. You shift from being just another chapter in her life to being the one man who walked away without hesitation. That kind of memory doesn't fade. It lingers. Because once a woman realizes she lost a man who can't be replaced, she carries that weight silently, knowing she'll never truly escape it.